Hello everyone, welcome back to the plot. It is May the 26th. Wow, these months really are ticking by, aren't they? Everything's looking good on the plot. Everything that I've put outside is still growing on nicely, but there's no time to rest on my laurels because there's still plenty of jobs to do. These potatoes are coming on a treat as well now. Look at those. All 20 plants that I put in have come up, and they've all been steadily earthed up as well. If you remember, I started with a trench down here. Now there's a nice little hill. So they're all coming along nicely, which is good. Moving over to this flower bed here. Everything that I've put outside seems to be doing really well. And look at this, my lupins have started. Another week or so and that'll be a spectacular show. They do look beautiful at the moment though, I've got to give them that. It's got these white ones just starting to come through as well now. Lovely. And the rest of the plot, everything's looking decent, you know what I mean? These parsnips down here, they've all germinated well, they've all been weeded out as well now because I can tell the difference between a parsnip and the other weeds. So they've all been, they've not been thinned out, they've just been weeded for the time being. Once they really start to grow in, I might look at thinning them out a bit. So yes, we should get some parsnips this year, which is lovely. Look at them. And the onions as well, very, very happy with my onions this year. Looks like a bit of a twisty mess in there, but you know, some of these are coming on really, really well. It's that time of year now where they're starting to put on some really good growth. So keep up with the feed. I've been scattering on bloodfish and bone on the surface, and I will get some chicken pellets on there as well. But some of those are looking very healthy. I had 3 at the front here that went to seed, of the red ones, but everything else at the moment is looking good. Yeah, I'm very pleased with them. I've never grown a successful red onion in my life, but you know, I don't want to jinx anything, but some of these reds are looking really nice now. I've never had them looking this big and healthy before. So they're really starting to bulk up now, which is nice. I'll say they're not ready to harvest until the leaves start to die back and they'll flop over, so they'll just be left in there to do their thing. Try and keep them weed free as well, they don't like to share. And the broad beans, since I've taken the cover off as well, they've all started to grow up nicely. I might have to tie a few of these into the stakes today because the wind's having them a little bit. And because they were covered up before, they've sort of had quite a sheltered life, like me. Give the beetroot as much chance as I can. This row's come up nicely, nothing in that one and hardly anything in that one. So I can't really wait anymore, I'm going to re-sow in there. And my little turnips, a little turnipin, they do need thinning out today at some point. And some of these radishes are ready to harvest as well now. If you have a look at those, we can start to pull some of those out. See all the holes in the leaves caused by flea beetles. It doesn't seem to bother the actual radish plant itself. It does look a bit unsightly though. There's some flower here that's decided to pop itself up there. I ain't got a problem with that, it can grow. And then the rest of the hashtag sunflower challenge. These guys are all just growing along. They're up to what, about 2 foot tall at the minute. Bit of damage in some of the leaves there, but nothing that I'm concerned about really. And then the main garlic crop. I'm starting to expect to see some changes in these soon. They're going to start to throw up the scapes, and we'll start to see a lot more of the leaves starting to yellow. But I just think that's because they are going to be starting to come to the end of things soon. It's one of the first things to get harvested in the way of the alliums. So yes, the few leftover plants that I had in here seem to be doing alright. They've gone a bit yellow, and they are getting battered around a bit by the wind at the minute, as you can see, so I might have to tie those in. And then the same with my sweet corn here. I've planted some of these out really small, but you know, they've all survived the week, so hopefully they'll be well away now, no stopping them. Tying in of plants is going to be quite important at the minute as everything starts growing up and the winds are picking up. The last thing you want is for the wind to come and snap them down and like put your progress back, so I'm just using some green twine. I used to use like cable ties and metal ties and these twisty ties and that, but the trouble is you can't always account for them and they can end up back in the soil and it's just going to create a mess. At least this stuff will rot down. going to tie them loosely to the poles like that. Just give them a bit of support when the wind blows. I'm going to go around and do all these now. And there we go, they're all tied in now, so that should help limit any wiggle and wobble from the wind, which is what we want to try and protect them from, because this time of year we can get some decent storms coming over. That'll just offer them a bit of protection, and because I put the stakes in as well when I first planted them, it means I've not got to jab them in now and potentially damage any of the roots. And do the same for these little plants over here now. And there we go, they're all tied in now. When you are tying them in, remember that these plants are going to want to grow, so don't tie them tight to the pole, give them a bit of room to grow, otherwise you'll end up stranglising them. Alright, this time of year tomatoes should be putting on some tremendous growth now. I know that these ones are growing up every time that I look at them. I know I only did it last week, but I need to go around and check all the suckers again. So if you have a look, even right at the top, that's your main growth head. That is a little sucker, so that one needs to come out. Like I say, the flowering stems just come out the stalk on their own. There's no leaf there if you have a look, so don't snap them off because that's where your fruit's coming from. But yeah, it's important to keep going through these because it's amazing how quick they will get away from you if you don't. I mean, look, these are already starting to turn into a bit of a mess, but we shall soon have them trimmed back into line. Okay, so that's me Tommies in pots all tied in and well behaved for another week. As you can see, I'm pulling off loads of material off every one of them. It's just what you've got to do to try and keep them in line and just have that one central stem going straight up. So another job that I want to get done this week as well is I want to put some of my cucumbers and my gherkins out into the greenhouse. I've been growing them on in little pots at the minute, and as you can see they're kind of cute little plants at the minute. But you know, it won't take them long to go and get pot bound. So I'm going to, same as my Cape gooseberries, I'm going to put them into these grow bags and also into a pot as well to give them some extra depth of compost, and they'll root through that pot and you know, get into the grow bag as well, and that'll just give them some extra compost. A little pot like that dry out in 5 minutes, plus it's, you know, more room for the roots and everything. So I'm just going to do the same with this bag here. I'm just going to cut a hole in it, pop my pot in. Some lovely nice big holes in the bottom of these pots as well, so the roots will be able to get straight through, and yeah, get them planted up really. So off I crack. Where's my other gherkin? Come on gherkin, there you are. Beautiful plants, look at them. I'm well impressed with them. Lovely. Must be doing something right. Oh, it's raining really hard now. Let me get my camera out of the rain. You're going to get a bit closer. If you can pick up on that, but it's absolutely chucking it down now. Go on, water me crops, fill me butt. Fill my butt with water. Now you've got to come in for a real mat's eye view of my cucumbers now, because it's chucking it down outside. What a messy bugger. And there we go, there's 2 gherkins and 2 cucumbers all potted up. These will need a support structure to get them going up, but I'm tempted to put this frame over the top so it'll grow up and the mesh will kind of support it. If not, I'll just run some cables across the length of the greenhouse and they can grow up that. But for now, they're absolutely fine. Cucumbers and gherkins, pickles. Been trying to get some of this duckweed out of the pond. I haven't got a net or anything like that, so I've got a decent bit out. You see this pile here at the side? So that's what I've dredged out of there already. So there's still plenty in there, so I'll just keep working away at it. Hopefully as long as it's not swamped it'll be alright. What do you reckon? And I believe they're water snails, but I've certainly not got any experience. Looks kind of snail shaped, doesn't it? Quite a few of them dotted around. Again, I don't know whether they're a good thing to have in your pond or a bad thing to have in your pond. Well guys, it's raining. It's absolutely chucking it down. Look at this. Probably can't see it. I'll show it on my roof. Everything's going alright, good watering. Probably can't see it actually, but I've just put, see that big old bent bit of black plastic sitting there on top of my water butts. It's very precarious at the minute, but I'm going to try and secure it in a better way. But that's just like a big sail really, collecting all of the water, pouring it straight into my butt. Simply can't do anything with my hair now. That rain has destroyed my follicles. I'm going to have a go just down here at a little no-dig bed. Yeah, I know. Not because I'm being lazy, I've just always been quite curious about it. I've heard a lot of mixed reports. So I've had this area here that I've had covered in black plastic for quite a while now. I'm going to put a couple of layers of cardboard down, dump a load of compost on top and see how it does. You know, the worst thing that happens is it gets full of weeds, it don't work, and I have to dig it over anyway, which I'm going to have to do at the minute. So I've got all this stuff, so I'm going to give it a crack. No dig. So as you can see, this is where I've had the black sheeting down. It's killed off. I say killed off, it suppressed a lot of the weeds under there. So I'm just going to put a decent sized bed in there. Just, bearing in mind the amount of compost that I've got to play with. So no dig bed, bed of no dig. The no dig of the bed, for the bed, by the bed, with the bed. Did I mention no dig? Well, that won't be a job for a windy day. So I've gone 3 or 4 layers of cardboard there. I'm just going to like edge it and yeah, I don't know. And there we have it. So that all seemed like a little bit easy. I can't imagine it working that well. Obviously I've got to get all of them timbers secured in place and everything like that, but that's a load of cardboard, probably 5 or 6 inches of compost on top, and yeah, that's meant to work. Let's keep the weeds down, see what it does. So that was my little attempt at a no-dig bed. Anyway, we'll wait and see how that one goes. We'll keep them crossed. I'm sure you guys will let me know down there if I've done it wrong or if there's anything I need to change about it. Next little job is I've been picked up some bits to make like a little frame. So I want to put me rest of my brassicas out. I know, big brassica theme this year. I've got a huge cage over there. I've got a blooming net thing over here. Now I'm going to have more, because I don't want them pigeons eating me veg. So I've been on to my local metal stockist, and I've got a load of this stuff, aluminium box section. I've had it cut down to lengths as well. It was ever so cheap. It's, I think the whole lot for this job cost me about 25 quid. So I've also been onto Amazon and got a load of these, which are tube connectors. So you can get different shapes and sizes, and that just helps put the push the poles together. There's no need for welding or bolts or anything like that. So I'm just going to have a go at building a little frame type of assembly thingamabob. What's it? Oojamaflop. You know, when I pictured it in my head, it didn't look that big. Yes. So, yeah, I've just had to hammer it all together. And it's a bit of a beast. I'm going to anchor it down into the ground, so I'll lose maybe half a metre or so of these. But yeah, it's huge. Like the size of a blooming greenhouse. Not bad for 30 quid. Bit of a beast, isn't it? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Dirty face. Never mind. So yeah, that big frame, I've got to decide how I want to use it. I know I'm going to cover it in scaffold frame. I know I'm going to put my brassicas in it and everything, and it's going to be on one of them beds over there. Just got to iron out the kinks. Oh, very dirty face, look. Oh well, I'll just have to talk to you with a dirty face. So yeah, that's, you know, it's not some bad progress today. I've got my little bed down here, we'll see how that one goes, I'm not sure. This bit of a frame here. What else have we done? Everything. Oh, blooming heck, the sun's just come out. Look at that. I've put my bean frame up as well. I don't know if I'm actually pointing at it. Where are you? Can't see anything in this sun. It's around there, I'm sure that you can see it, even if I can't right now. Get my runners out now as one of my final jobs of the day. And then I think I'm just going to call it quits because I'm a little bit shattered. But yeah, everything's looking nice at the minute. So I'm quite happy. The grass could do with a bit of a trim again. That's becoming a weekly issue at this time of year. So let's have a look at these beans anyway, shall we? Oh, beans. So this is the area that I'm going to put my beans into anyway. I've mixed in loads of compost in there, blood, fish and bone, so it should be some nice rich soil. Moving up on the top of the bean frame, what I've done is I've crossed over the pole quite low down rather than having it right at the top. That means that when the beans grow up, they'll grow in and then they'll grow out again, so it won't get too crowded at the top rather than having them all grow into a point. And then when they do come out this way, all the beans will be hanging on the outside, so I can harvest those quite easily. Oh, let's get them in. So these are the beans anyway. These ones are streamline. They looked nice in the shop, so I bought them. As you can see, the plants are growing quite well. Oh, let's get rid of this tray. Oochie wally. Oochie bang bang. So there we go, we've got our two main leaves coming out there looking nice and healthy, and then it started to send up this runner as well, and then that will spiral up and work its way around the pole. So what I'm going to do just to help these along, when I plant them, actually angle the whole plant in towards the pole so it can find it, because if it's straight up it might flap around and not find where it's meant to be. So I'm just going to plant them with a slight angle, leaning in to the what's this stuff? Cane! Meow. As you can see there, that's leaning now against the pole, so pole, cane, meow. Sorry. and then that will follow in the sun. That'll curl its way around there and grow its way up steadily. So hopefully these will be some nice tasty runners. Now I'm going to go ahead and plant all of these out now, give them a good watering in. It's the first time they've been outside. They've been in the greenhouse, so they're used to the cold weather, but the wind might give them a bash. So we'll see how they get on. Meow. Go around the other side and repeat myself. Alright, chaps and chapettes, still got a dirty face and my hair's still all over the place, so that's about it for today, I think. I've had quite a good day down. I've had quite a good day down at it actually. I've had a good few hours down here. Everything's looking nice, everything's looking splendid, which I'm sure it will stay for at least half a day before everything grows back and the weeds start to become a problem and all the rest of it. So tomatoes, they've all been put to bed. They were gigantimos. Did I show you them being repotted? Can't remember if I showed you my gigantimos being repotted, but there they are. I put 2 of them in a grow bag. That's only a 33 litre grow bag, so I didn't want to chance 3 in there. And then that means I've got 1 spare gigantimo tomato there, which I'll probably give to somebody or stick outdoors, I don't know. This greenhouse not changed much, obviously just my chilies and a few other bits and bobs in there. Some flowers that need to go out. If my no dig bed works, then I might put them in there. And finally, obviously earlier on you've seen me put me gherkins and me cucumbers into the grow bag, so they're all in. They've been watered as well, so we'll leave them to it. I'm always leaving the doors open slightly now, just because nighttime temperatures are quite warm and the daytime temperatures are very hot. So if I ever don't be able to get in down here, So if I ever don't be able to get down here, at least the greenhouse door isn't closed and there's no chance of it getting, furnace hot in there and scorching everything. So yes, that is it. So here we go. Oh yeah, I had 6 golden bantam sweet corn that I've just thrown in there as well. Whether they do anything, I don't know, because there's only 6 of them, and they're quite near to my other sweet corn here. So whether we get cross-pollination and all the rest of it, I don't know. I think because they're both like sweet, then there shouldn't be a problem, because I know there's cross-pollination between super sweet and not sweet, and don't know. I'll have to have a look at that, let me know. Everything else is just looking as it is. Got my little bed there. I'm going to call it no dig. I don't know whether I've done it right or not. I've never looked into it. And then my brassica greenhouse as well, which I've put my kale, some cauliflowers and some broccoli out as well. So hopefully they'll start to grow on. I'm having trouble in here actually with slugs, so I'm just imagining that's because of the timber frame, all this ground cover. It's creating a nice wet environment for them. So if anyone's got any ideas on controlling the slugs without me literally having to sit here every night and sort of flick them out of the door like some sort of weird slug catapult. Potato! I've got this potato here with the big leaves, and I've got this potato here which has come up with little leaves. So they're both sprouting out of the same actual potato, but they've come up looking different. Who knows? Who knows? And then obviously my runner beans are in as well. So from the plot, that is me done for another day. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you along, and I hope you all have a great gardening week. It's bank holiday tomorrow, so you can all get down the allotment. There's no excuse for not doing about 12 hours non-stop. No excuse. See you later. Right, list of jobs for today. Plant brassicas in big cage, yes. Sort floor in the big cage, yes. Dig the bed in front of the big cage, yes. Build the new brassica cage, yes. Well, halfway because I haven't put the mesh on. Plant giant pumpkins, no. Plant kohlrabi, no. Plant cucumbers in the greenhouse, yes. Sort fruit trees, no. Resow loads of plants, no. Plant the sweet corn, yes. Plant sunflowers, marigolds, leeks, no, no, no. Cut the grass, no. Trim the hedges, no. Sort the tomatoes in grow bags, yes. Well, I got about half my jobs done. Still, there's always tomorrow.